Hey folks, it's Lord Zorblatt here. Today we're going to learn a lot more about the Align tool. And to teach us about the Align tool, we've got two blocks. This one's a little block. I'm going to hold down Command and click on the big one. That allows us to select them both. Command on a Mac, Control on a PC. And you can see over here, little block and big block are both selected. And now, where is the Align tool? You go to Model, and then here, click on Align tool. And it'll show up somewhere. Also Command A. And so there's a lot of options in the Align tool. I'll tell you which ones we're not going to worry about. Set Align in to World. Set Relative to Active Object. We're not going to worry about those. The tools we're going to work, or the selectors we're going to worry about are these icons up here, which are min, center, and max, and then the X, Y, Z axes. So let's start with an example. What if we want to move this little block so that the center of the little block is at the center of the big block? So the way it works is the part that you select last is going to stay stationary. The other part is going to move. So let's just say we're going to align the centers of these. So the center of the little block is going to be aligned with the center of the big block. And we'll do it in all three axes. So you'll notice when I hover over the tool, you get these yellow preview guides that show up in the screen there. And so you can see it's going to move the center of the little block to that little yellow dot that now shows in the center of the big block. Let's do it. Okay, so you can see the little block is now at the center of the big block. So I'll undo that, Command Z. And now let's talk about what these tools up here do. So we'll start out with the XYZ. In Roblox, the position of any object is determined with three numbers: the X number, the Y number, and the Z number. So you can look over here. The position of the big block is 090. In Roblox, there is a position called 000. That's always the same. That position never moves. And along with that position, there's these three axes, and you can see these axes up here. This tool up here, if you go under View and click View Selector, this is called the View Selector, and it shows you the X, Y, and Z directions in Roblox that never change. So if I go over here and spin around, it's spinning this block around accordingly. Now the X direction is sort of front to back. If you go like this, X direction is left and right. So this block is at 090. Let's put it at 000. That means at the center of the Roblox world. And you can see it's halfway underground now. So that's why I'm at 090. The base plate is at 000. So this little view selector also tells you, there is a 000 position, but it also tells you if you go to the left on the x-axis, if you go from right to left on this little red line, that's moving in the positive x direction. And so if I drag this cube here to the right, you can see this number, this x number is going to go. So now we're at 22 in the x direction. I'll Command Z it. Now we're back at 0. So those are your directions. And your part, if you're lined up with the Roblox world, your part has these same arrows that correspond to the same directions in the world. If you start rotating your part, that changes. But for the simple case here, let's do another example to help you understand. So let's say we want to take this block and we want to align it so that the right-hand side is aligned with the right-hand side of the big block. And so if I turn on in just the X direction, so we're fine in the up and down direction, we're fine in the back and forth direction, or in the front back direction, but in this X direction, this left-right direction, what we want to do is align the right-hand sides of these two parts. And so I'm going to click on this min button. I could click on the max button, but then it would align the left-hand side of the little block with the left-hand side of the big block. Why are they called max and min? Because they can't just say left-hand side, because if we spin everything around, now the left-hand side takes you in the negative x direction. So instead of saying right and left, they say plus or minus, or they say in the the min or max direction, which is not great terminology. But if you hover, you'll see which way it's going to put it. So if we go in the max direction, and again that's defined as the 0, 0, 0 is over here, and if you go this way on x, x grows as you go to the left. As we drag it to the left, x grows. And so that's why they say in the max direction, like the bigger direction, which is the left-hand side, it's going to be left-hand side. So let's align here. So look at that. We aligned. I'm going to Command Z it, and I'm going to move this one around a little bit. Oops. Put this little one over here. So if we align in the x direction, it's just going to slide it over in the red axis. It's not going to move the little one on the green or blue axis. So let's do that. Look at that. It aligned the x directions of these two parts, or sort of the left-hand side x directions. Let's do something more complicated. Let's put this little block in the upper right-hand corner of the big block. This will be a test of our understanding. So we'll click on the little block, Command click on the big block, and so in the blue direction, the front-back direction, we want to align. So let's click. So we're fine in the x direction. We'll get to that later. In the z direction, the blue direction, we want to align the front of the little block to the front of the big block. And so it doesn't look like it's doing that right now. That yellow plane is putting the front and the back of the little block. It's moving it to the back of the big block. So we flip over to this one. That's what we want. So let's align it there. And I think I said we're going to this upper right corner. So now in the red direction, we got to go over, right, to the right. So let's click on X, unclick Z, and look, we've got the right icon selected here. It's going to move the right-hand side of the little block to the right-hand side of the big block. Now we'll move it up. And so to move it up, we use that's right, the green arrows. And green is Y direction. You can see that up here. Red, X, Y, green, blue, Z. And so I'm just going to select this one direction. So in the Y direction, that's the up and down direction, we want the I guess we want this max button selected. If we had the min button, it would align the bottoms of the parts. So align the tops of the parts. Boom. Could I have gotten to the upper right corner with just one alignment? I don't think so. So let's move the little block, Command Z it. It's over here. So if we click on the little one, Command click on big one, and let's say, we'll say the max direction we'll align at X, Y, and Z. And you can see where that little yellow dot shows up in the back left top corner? We can get to there. Command Z that, or we can get to this front right corner, bottom. Oops. Let me try this again. We can get to the front right corner, but if we want to get to any of the other corners, we're going to have to combine several steps. So we'll take you through one more alignment. So let's put this little block, Command Z it, on top of the big block, in the center, just sitting on top. So first thing we want to do is let's just align all the centers. So you can see where the little yellow dot showed up. So let's align the little block to the center of the big block. Now, this is tricky. So I think I found a case that we can't do with the alignment tool. So we can align the tops. Let's just do the Z direction. I'm sorry, just the Y direction, because that's the up and down direction. So we can make the tops aligned, or we can make the bottoms aligned, but we can't align the bottom of the little block with the top of the big block. That's okay though, because we can align the, we can take that final step by just pulling this one out and then turning on model collisions, and then just slide it down until it stops. Boop. So there we go. So let's do another exercise. Let's put the little block in the back right corner. So we'll Command Z it, so that it's over here. And so first, let's move it on the red axis. Let's get it over all the way to the right. So click on the little one, click on the big one. And so the red direction is X. So here we're saying, oh, we want to line up the right-hand sides. So we'll switch from max to min. You don't have to really understand like where the words max and min come from. You can just click on it and say, oh, that's the left-hand side, that's the right-hand side. All right, so first let's do that. We'll line it to the right-hand side. Cool. So now let's push it all the way to the back. So that's the blue direction. Blue direction is, look up here in the cube, is Z direction. And up, that's the front, so we change this icon, align it to the back. And yeah, then top and bottom is the green axis, which is the y-axis. I think it's already aligned at the bottom. So align it to the bottoms, boom. If we say, oh no, we want to move to the top, click the other icon, align it to the top. So again, don't worry about this align in world or local, just leave it on world. Always relative to the active objects. Like you want to move the little block relative to the big block. So the big block's going to stay stationary. Yeah, for more information, there's good help online. I'll put a link in the for the Roblox help in the description. If you have any questions, please leave comments. Otherwise, thanks, and please subscribe. If I get 1,000 subs, I can monetize. Thank you.